morning. It's time for gentle yoga. So if you're on the video today, feel free to say hello in the chat box. I've added a quote for the day. There's so much happening in our world, and now that we are starting to get back out into a little bit of normalcy, it's another change. So we've had so much change this year, and so today I just want you to consider changing your perspective. Maybe it's about something large and worldly, or it may just be something small, something that happens day to day in your life. So just be open to change. So let's get started. Let's start on the back today. So lay down on your back. Take some nice deep breaths while you're in this position. Maybe let my opening thought resonate now. You just take a moment to think about something that you'd like to change. Slowly bring your knees into your chest. Just rock side to side. Encourage you to be open in your thoughts today. You know, sometimes when I'm practicing, I beat myself up, like, oh, I should have held that posture longer, or why can't I do X, Y, Z, or why did I say that, so forth. So I'm going to try to change the way I think about and the way I think about myself, and not kind of self-criticize. Stop in the center, roll up, and then roll down to the floor. Keeping the knees into the chest, roll back up into a ball, and roll down. One more time. And roll down. Open the arms wide. And let's just use the back of the hands for a little bit of stability. And just shift your knees side to side. You can feel your oblique muscles, your core muscles, start to engage as you are shifting side to side. So just do this as an awareness of your core, awareness of the different muscles of your body and how they work together to give you a nice, stable torso. Come to the center. And then drop both knees to the front of the room. Just Allow them to sink down to the ground and look out over the opposite arm. Finding some release here. Turn your head to the ceiling, bring the knees up and over. You can feel the core kick in again. Drop your knees the other way and look out over the opposite arm. Come to the center. Let's take the feet up toward the ceiling. Gently pull your toes down toward your shins. Just look toward your toes. Bring your arms down by your sides so that your shoulders relax. Shoulder blades are against the floor. Bend your knees. Place the feet to the floor. And very slowly and gently lift up your hips. Rolling up. The weight is on your upper back, the back of your shoulders. Lift hips high. Gently roll down. Bring the knees in toward the chest. Come up to a seated position and try to keep your toes off of the floor, lifting up through the chest. Maybe you can take your arms off. If you need to, you can lower your toes down. Let's roll back down to the floor. Bring the knees to chest. Place the feet on the floor. Lift up through the hips. Roll down. Knees come in toward the chest. And roll up into your modified boat pose. You can lift your legs up a little bit higher so that you have this 90 degrees here, or extend your legs. You can have your arms out, holding on the back of the thighs, reaching up. And then bring the knees down and have a seat. Cross your legs and sit up tall. Placing your right hand to the floor. Lift up your left arm, reach over, look up at the hand, come back, place the hand down to the floor and switch sides, looking up, changing your focus, focusing on the hand, come back. We talk about drishti sometimes in yoga, and that's your point of focus, your focal point. Because we're not supposed to be thinking about outside things when we're practicing. Release. We want to try and stay now in this present moment. more time. Let's switch sides. So what happens when you just focus on one item? Could that allow you to change your perspective in something else? Switch. Maybe the other things just really don't matter. You can let them go. Or maybe they matter, but they just don't matter at this moment. And release, come up. Take the hands behind your back. And close your fingers, lift your chest. And release. Open your legs a little bit, bringing your feet together. Be very gentle here. We're in the very beginnings of our practice, so our body's not very warm. So just use all of these early postures to become aware of how you're feeling today. And then just lean forward. Try to take your chest toward your feet. Again, be very gentle. Back up. Let's bring the left foot in toward the bottom. Take your right leg across. And then turn toward your right leg. See how tightly you can wrap your ball and turn. Keep looking behind you. And release. Uncross, switch sides. Bring the leg up and over. And twist. Release. Come to your knees. And then come down to tabletop, hands under your shoulders. You're drawing the belly up and in. So that lower ab area is braced, the area below your belly button. So it's the area where your tight jeans press against you. So pull in there so that you're braced. But you still have the freedom to be able to fill your lungs. So drop your belly down, lift the chest, round the back, drop your neck, or drop your head. Move back and forth between the postures, using breath, feeling stretches and contractions through the muscles of your torso. So when you're doing these postures, I put this in every practice that I do. So if you tend to take your awareness, maybe just your abdominal muscles, again, change the perspective and focus and pay attention to how this feels on your back. Or maybe how it feels on your hands and your feet. Go through one more time. Breath in. Breath out. Come to center. Reaching the right arm up toward the ceiling, look up. Stretching, feeling twist in your lower spine. Thread the needle, take the arm underneath, come to your shoulder. Wrap your other arm around the back. Bring left hand to the mat. Gaze follows right hand up to the ceiling and returns to the floor. Switch sides, reach up. Thread the needle. Wrap the arm around the back. Hand to the floor. Reach up, look up, breath in. And come back down. Walk your hands forward a little bit and move to downward facing dog, lifting up hips. Pressing heels toward the ground. Feeling that lengthening of the back of the legs. Looking toward belly button. From here, you might need to bend your knees. Walk your hands back toward your feet. And hang in ragdoll. You can make a box with your hands. Drop the fingers to the floor, walk them to the right side, half lift, lengthen, and then fold. And walk your hands to the other side, half lift, fold. And come to the center. Again, you might need to bend your knees, walk out, and return to downward facing dog. Keeping your hands on the floor, take small steps and walk forward. Half lift, forward fold. Clasp your hands behind your back. Lift your hands up toward the ceiling. Maybe they drop over your head. Bring the hands back down to the floor. Walk to the right, lift, fold. And walk to the left, lift, and fold. Come back to the center, hands to the ground. Step back to downward facing dog. Lift up your right leg, strong and straight. Bend the knee and point it to the opposite ends of the room. Heel toward your left hip. And then lower the leg. And switch. Other leg lifts. Up. Bend the knee. Heel to opposite hip. Lower the leg. Walk your hands back to your feet. Half lift. Lengthen through the back. Fold. Inhale, rise. Reach up. Breathe in, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Come out, roll out to a high push-up. Option is to drop your knees. See if you can hold here. Come down halfway. Chaturanga. And then move into an upward facing dog. You can put your thighs down as you're warming up, if that feels good to you. Press back down dog. Step to the front of the mat. Half lift. Fold. Rise. Breathe in. Make this smooth. Forward fold. Half lift. Step back to your high push-up. Low push-up. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to your feet, getting a big stretch on the back of the legs. Half lift. Fold. Inhale, rise. Bring your hands down by your side. Pause in mountain pose. Feet are rooted to the ground. Feel length through your back. Looking straight ahead. Stepping forward with that right leg, step into warrior one. Step, lift up your arms, sink down. Back leg is straight, toes are out on a 45-degree angle. Keep sinking into the front leg. Breathe. Now open your arms and open your hips. Warrior two. So you might need to shift that front foot a little bit. Take the knee toward your outside part of your foot. Reach your arms strong. Now reverse your warrior, look up. Straighten your front leg. Shift into a gentle triangle. Straight arms, straight legs. Look up toward the ceiling. Come back to warrior two. Maybe you can sink a little bit deeper here. 2 more breaths. And then come up. Turn your feet so they are parallel to the edge of your mat. And bring your hands to your hips. Breath in, opening chest by just pulling the elbows back. Fold forward. Hands come to the floor. Half lift. Hands to your hips. Inhale, rise. Stay smooth as you lift. And then step to the back of your mat. Feet under hips. Let's return to mountain pose. Standing tall, lifting through the crown of the head. Your toes are light on the floor. Your feet are grounded. You're still pulling in the low belly. Let's move into the left side, warrior one. Stepping forward, lifting up your arms, sinking down. Pulling the shoulder blades down and away. Your shoulders are relaxed. Try not to let them punch up. Feel power through your arms and your legs. Are you breathing? Open your arms, move to warrior two. Make that shift if you need to. Reverse warrior. Look up. And then come back to warrior two. Straighten your front leg. Move into your small triangle pose. We're not quite warm, or maybe it's just that my legs are super tired. But be gentle. You know your body better than anyone else. So move into your postures as you feel ready. Come back to warrior two. And then turn your feet. Clasp your hands behind your back, opening chest. Feet parallel to the edge of the mat. Fold forward. Allowing the arms to lift to the ceiling or over. Lower your arms to your hips, pull in your belly, inhale, rise, and step to the back of your mat. Mountain pose. Inhale, reach up. Forward fold. Half lift. Fold. Keeping your feet separated, move to chair pose. So when you fold, bend your knees, swing the arms up. Try keeping your knees and feet the same distance apart. Bring your hands to prayer and twist to the right. Release, forward fold. Half lift, fold, bend the knees, swing the arms, chair pose. Toes are light, hands to prayer, twist. And release. Fold. Bend your knees a little bit. Walk out to your downward facing dog. Lift up your right leg. Bring the knee into the nose, round your back. Step back, lift the leg, knee to nose. One more time, reach back, knee to nose. Step into a crescent lunge, dropping the back knee. So we'll start low, and then we'll move into full crescent. Or you can stay with this modified knee down. Lift up the arms. Hands to prayer and twist. Bring your hands down to the floor. Straighten your back leg and step in part way for a pyramid pose. So your goal here is for your hips to be even and to take your chest towards your front thigh. Take a half lift, step your foot back. Now here's your option. You can stay high in your crescent lunge or drop your knee one more time like you did at the beginning. Hands to prayer and twist. Release, hands to the floor, downward facing dog. Lifting left leg, knee to nose. Inhale, reach, knee to nose. One more, inhale, knee to nose. Step, lower back leg. Lift up and sink down. Use your breath to allow your body, your muscles to release. Sink deep, reach your arms. Hands to prayer and twist. Release, hands to the floor. Step into pyramid pose. So straightening the front leg, straightening the back leg. Trying to line up your heels, keeping the hips level. If you need to bend a knee, bend the front leg. Using breath. Shift your back leg back and move into crescent lunge or a modified crescent. Hands to prayer and twist. Bring the hands to the floor, downward facing dog. Bring your knees down to the ground. And move to dolphin pose. Your forearms are parallel to each other, and the elbows are under the shoulders. So be really cautious that you're not taking your elbows wide. So one nice way to set up is to have your elbows on the floor and take your fingers to opposite shoulder. And then place your arms down. And then lift up your hips as if you're going into downward facing dog. And let's work to strengthen that upper back. Take your gaze forward between your thumbs. Can you feel the muscles of your upper back kick in? And release. Come down to your knees. Shift back to child's pose. Let's return to dolphin pose. Lifting up the hips. Strengthening upper back, looking forward. Lower your knees. Child's pose. Slowly come up to your knees. Shoulders back and down. Step forward with your right leg. 90-degree angle. So you're not sinking the whole way down like you did in your lunge. So you're staying somewhat upright. Lifting up left arm. Twisting. And then aiming to put that hand on the floor outside your front foot. Look back over your shoulder. Option to lift the right arm, pointing forward, looking at the palm of the hand. Pushing left arm against right leg to twist farther. And release. Hands frame the foot, come up. Bring the knee back. Switch sides. Stepping forward. 90-degree angle on that front knee. Can you feel the stretch on the front of the thigh of your other legs? Reach up. You twist from your low back. Twist through the torso, dropping fingertips to the floor. Pushing the right elbow, arm into that left leg. Option to lift up the left arm. Looking toward that palm. And release. Bring the knee back. Wide knee child's pose. Knees go wide, toes together. Sink down a little bit deeper. Bring your hands in. And then come to your knees and shift into a squat, a low squat. Toes out, hands to prayer. Lifting chest. Pushing elbows inside the thighs. Finding the stretch in the front of the pelvis. Sinking down to open up inside the hips. Let's open the arms. Place your hands to the floor. Lift up your hips. So you're kind of in this medium wide forward fold. Come back down to your squat. Open the arms. Hands to the floor. Lift the hips. While your hands are on the floor, open your legs a little bit wider so you can just kind of heel toe to one side. And let's just do an inner thigh stretch. Shifting to your right, lengthen through your back. You can feel the inside of that left inner thigh. Come to the center and switch. So not a yoga pose, but a prep for a different posture. Come to the center. Let's continue that stretch. Left hand goes to your right foot. Lengthen through the back. Left arm to the ceiling. Or right arm to the ceiling. Sorry about that. Left hand is on your right foot. Switch sides. Right hand to left leg, lengthen through the back. Left arm to the ceiling. Bring the hands both to the floor. Walk your feet in. Forward fold. And then reach out, hands on the floor, and come down to your knees. Come up, open the chest. Moving into frog pose. So this can be pretty intense. So just be open to trying something new if you've never done this posture before. I'll turn to the side. Your hands under your shoulders. And then you're going to open your knees. And basically, you're going to continue opening your knees as wide as you can. And you dorsiflex your feet. So think about a frog. You want your ankle and your knees to be lined up. And then you just come down to your forearms. And allow the weight of your body to open your hips. And you keep your back long. So the only reason that you drop your chest down to the floor is if you can, in fact, have your inner thighs flat to the floor. Otherwise, stay with me. Draw the belly in. So your lower abdominal muscles are still engaged. You're looking toward the floor. Take one more full breath. Come to your hands and then tuck your toes in. Gently bring your body up. That's a big stretch across the front of the hips. Let's come back down to the mat. Have a seat. Extend the legs forward. Let's start by lengthening the spine. So your fingertips are back kind of close to your bottom, chest lifted, toes up. Feel your back and your chest lifting. Abdominal, lower back, side muscles are all working. Now release the hands from the floor. Reach forward to your shins, your toes. Fold over your legs. Using breath to sink closer to your thighs. Keep your neck long. So try not to focus on bringing your nose to your knees, but rather the head, top of the head toward your feet. So you're getting longer through the body. Slowly release, come up. Let's continue working inner thighs. Open the legs. Toes toward the ceiling. Hands down in front. Lifting through the chest. Lifting up right arm. Look up at that right hand. And extend your left hand out to your toe. And then reach over. Feeling the stretch of the side body. So keep your chest open. Try not to turn down toward the leg. So stay open. Look up toward the ceiling. Look up past your armpit, your arm. And then come up. Place the hands down to the floor. Lift up. Look up. Reaching right hand out toward the toes. bend, come up. I bend both knees. Bring the feet to the center. Bring your heels closer to your body. Now that you are nice and warm through the legs, it should feel a little different than earlier in practice. Round your back. Pull the belly in and away from the feet. Try to bring crown of the head to the ground. Release. Bring the knees up. Roll onto the floor. And let's return to bridge pose. Feet on the ground. Fingertips touch heels. Lift up hips. Maybe you clasp your hands underneath your body. And then push your feet to the floor to lift higher. Release. Come down. Take feet back to the ceiling. Pause here. Legs are up. You're active through the feet, pulling toes down toward the shins. Bend the knees. Reach for the outside part of your feet. Happy baby. Roll side to side. Stop in the center. Let's extend the leg. Just one leg is straight. Your other leg remains bent. Your hands are on both feet. Bend the knee. Switch sides. Bend the knees. Bring both knees into chest. Open your arms. Drop your legs to the front of the room. Maybe this time you extend the upper leg, straightening that leg and lowering it further, pushing the heel away from the body, and then turning your attention to the back of the room. Bend the knee, come up and over. Extend that top leg if that's what you did on the other side. Allow the body to sink down. To the center. Bring the knees to chest. And then move to Shavasana. Extending legs, arms by your side, palms up. Close your eyes. And breathe. Consider the intention from the practice. Today we focused physically on stretching inner thighs and hips, backs of the legs. And then mentally, the thought is on changing perspective, changing your point of view. So here's a quote from Mary Engelbreit. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change the way you think about it. "2020 has certainly been a year of a lot of changes, and we're still not back to any sense of normalcy. Maybe, depending on your perspective, that's a good thing. So be open to change, be open to changing your mind, be open and inspired to make changes in your life, in your community, or in a greater world for the greater good. Feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you choose. I'm going to close us out with a big breath in and prayer. Wishing you peace, health, happiness, and also an inspiration. Wishing you to be inspired to change where change is needed. Until I see you again, namaste.